Hi, my name is Victoria, and we have a Roomba. It's the newest model of the Roomba. And today I decided to run over some poop. And we searched the internet, and there's not really any videos describing how to clean your Roomba if there is poop in it. So we decided to do a tutorial on how to clean it since ours has poop on it right now. We did watch some videos on how to disassemble it and what parts you can clean and can't clean, can and cannot clean. So we're not going to be doing anything that's unsafe for the Roomba. So we're going to start by showing you our Roomba with all the poop in it. You can see there's some poop in this wheel. We already took the wheels out here. And then our little spinner thing here also has lots of poop in it. So this right here, your wheels are usually in here. I've already taken them out and cleaned them before we started the video. But so this clicks in, and you can see these two yellow tabs here. And what you do is you push them in. These gloves are a little bit too big for my hands. And then that just pulls it out, and then the wheels pull out just like batteries do. So that's pretty easy. So just so you know where we're at right now, the main things that you're gonna need, back on me, to clean your Roomba are going to be a sink, obviously, some paper towels, a screwdriver, probably some gloves unless you just want to touch poop with your hands. The screwdriver is going to be used to take off some of these plates so that we can get these wheels out, as well as the spinner off, so that we can clean those and we don't have to replace this spinner. We can just wash it off. I'm going to show you how we washed these rollers here, which have already been rinsed and cleaned. I use soap on them. They are they're just rubber, so you can clean them. Something that we do want to point out is, I haven't done this yet, but you can take these yellow parts off. They just pull right off. Set that aside and see, like, there's some hair in here. Come out. There we go. So hair also gets in there. That's just a regular cleaning process that you can run. And then you just take the cap and put it right back on. Real easy. I'll just show you. We have ours. I just rinsed it off using this spray method here instead of the stream method. I used those. It got most of it off. I just used a high pressure and it got off. And then I used soap to kind of sanitize it. And that is that. So, and then we'll go ahead and do that on this side. Take it off. It just comes right off. Don't even have to twist it or anything. Unfortunately, our Roomba, this has already been cleaned as well. The Roomba managed to get some of the poop into the canister that collects all of the dirt. There's still a little bit in here, but it has been rinsed out already. We have removed the filter. Oh gosh, there we go. We have removed the filter. There's some more dust. So we also did some research on how to, if you need to replace the filter or if you can rinse the filter. It is important to note that if you do clean the filter with water, which we are about to do, you have to make sure that it is completely dry before you put it back in your Roomba. So right. Alright, so now we're going to set this out to dry. Try to tap some of that water out. There we go. And we'll probably leave this out for about 24 to 48 hours just to ensure that it's not wet at all before we do put it back in. But you can see now that the filter is mostly clean. Here's the tab, the side with the tab on it, so this should be clean anyway. Okay, so now we have cleaned the filter and the two rollers, which I suggest you start with, and the container as well. Alright, so let's go back to our Roomba. We're going to start with a screwdriver to remove the little pinwheel here. So we're just going to righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. As you can see, there's poop all in these feathers. So they say that you can remove this by applying sideways pressure, which it's trying to spin around while I'm doing it. And they've also given an example of using a screwdriver to pop it out, which I'm going to attempt to do now. Here we go. There it goes. So we're going to take this wheel over here, and we're going to clean these two items things that we just removed. And then I'm going to use some soap to get a lot of the rest of it off. There's not much in this wheel. It did seem like most of this is just dirt, mostly staining. You can see where it's just been rolling around. Let's see. And now we have one clean wheel. Can you see? There we go. Put it in a clean pile. And now we will attempt to clean this. So notice that here's a dirty one, and then there's one that I just rinsed. You see them? Not so close to them. So you can see that they rinsed out pretty easy. I just kind of rub it in between my fingers and it all came out. Alright, and then just for security, so we know that we're not still spreading poop germs all over our house, just go through and clean this. Like this. Just go all the way around. And then just rinse it right out. Alright, so notice now that we have a clean spinner. There's no more poop on it. We cut that hair off camera and then washed it again to make sure we got all the poop, or washed again with soap. Made sure we got all the poop off. So here we are with our clean parts so far. We're going to go back to the Roomba. Start by removing this right here. You can see that there's an area here, and we are going to remove this. Notice there's lots of poop stuck to this particular screw. That's one of the reasons that we will be removing it. Here's your Roomba battery. You can see there is a little bit of poop that made it into this area, so we are going to gently clean this. We're going to start removing the rest of this panel so that we can get these wheels out, because that is personally my main concern. There's a lot of poop down in said area. Okay, there's the screw. Watch out, Julie. Alright, so we removed our screws here and here. Those are the only two holding down this main surface plate on the bottom side of the Roomba. We're going to completely remove this flap that is covering the battery and set it aside. And then we're going to gently remove this plate here. We're basically disassembling the whole thing, because we want to get all the poop out. And then my sister here behind camera is going to remove the battery for me. Okay. So we have already sprayed everything down and got it all the poop off. We're just going to wipe down all of the individual crevices just to make sure that we got all the poop. Alright, so now that these are clean and virtually dry, we're going to move back to the Roomba. Alright, so now we're going to go in with our screwdriver here. This is it's a fairly small screwdriver. The goal is to remove this main plate here. Zoom out, Julie. This main plate here in the middle. As you can see, this is where the rollers go, and this is like the dirtiest part, because obviously this is what picked up all the poop. So to remove this, you're going to take out this screwdriver here, or this screw here, this screw here. Zoom out, Julie. You can't see anything.
You still can't see.
Okay, this screw here, one on the opposing side. Get on top of it so they can. There we go. Sorry, my sister's doing this video. If you can't see anything, it's her fault. And the screw here. And once you unscrew these, this just lifts right out. Obviously, we unscrewed it off camera to make it easier. There we go. And next, like this wheel here, there's lots of poop in the wheel, so we're going to want to clean that as well. So starting with our clean wheel over here, we're going to show you there are 3 screws that you're going to unscrew. Get on top of it right here. The first screw is going to be right here, and this is the left wheel. This is our left wheel. So it's going to be vice versa on the other side, or mirrored on the other side. So here's one screw. Here's the second screw. And then down in this hole right here, get over it like this. Down in this hole right here is that third screw. And once you unscrew all of those, it just lifts right out. And then we're going to go ahead and unscrew this side. Alright, and here we go. We've unscrewed these screws right here, these 3 screws, and we're just going to pull this whole chunk right out. And as you can see, there was poop inside this crevice, so it was important that we pulled the wheel completely out rather than just cleaning it and moving on, because you can see it is kind of everywhere, and we wouldn't have been able to clean all of that without removing it. So, very important. And now we're going to take some paper towels and clean off as much residue as possible, just in here. Alright, so as you can see here, we've got most of that residue out. That's kind of dried on a little bit. And now we're going to move on. We're not going to spray directly in. We're going to spray on our paper towel here. And then make sure it's all absorbed in there before we get everything too wet. And then we're just going to go in with our damp paper towel with cleaner on it and clean this way. And we'll clean all of our areas around here and make sure everything is clean. Alright, so here is the front wheel. We've mostly cleaned everything out of it, but if you've got some more underneath it that you can't reach, you just pull it right out. And then you can use your damp paper towel, get inside there, clean it all out. Also, utilize toothpicks. They work very well to get out of smaller areas, such as these screws right here where there may be some poop. So now we're going to focus on the wheel. I'm going in here with my finger on this paper towel, or with these gloves on, and using it to get a lot of the poop out of this area right here. Hand me that straw, Julie. You can use a straw or a toothpick if you want. I like the straw because it slides perfectly into this and it collects all the poop into this, so there's not really much cleanup. It gets most of it out like this, and then if you miss some, you can just go back in with it. So we're going to go through all of the wheels. So now that we've gotten all the poop out of the crevices, we are going to spray our paper towel again, and we're going to start working on getting all of the poop out. So now we're going to go in with a Q-tip now that it kind of wiped everything down on the sides. Bless you, Mommy. And we're going to go in. Julie, will you spray me? She says spray my Q-tip for me, so there we go. And we're going to go around. I do this side all the way around, and then I go in from the other side. It's a little bit faster. Just twist your Q-tip around in there and make sure you get it all. So next we're going to use this toothpick right here, and we're just going to run it all inside of this crevice right here where the wheel is, so that way we can get out any more unwanted poop. Get from the top. Yeah, there you go. So we're going to use this straw again. It's just a disposable straw, and we're just going to push it into these mounds of poop, and it's going to collect it up. So we're going to get our lightly sprayed or heavily sprayed paper towel, and we're going to start wiping all this out once we've got most of the big chunks out. Wipe around the edges here. try and get in every crease as much as possible. We'll go back over it with toothpicks and Q-tips later, but right now we just want to get the majority of the mess so we can fine clean later. You want to make sure that you get up underneath this red here. You want to get up in there. You also want to wipe off the red part as much as possible. And then we'll come back with the toothpicks. Go. Alright, so it is 48 hours later, and here is our clean area. This is where we left off, and notice we got all the poop out using straws, toothpicks, and what are they called? Q-tips. And Q-tips. So we didn't get everything out, but we got just about as clean as you can possibly get. So there's that. And our filter is now totally bone dry. It feels totally dry, so that's great. And we're going to start by putting the wheels back in place. And then we just use a really small screwdriver and screw all of these back together.
And then we move on to the screw. And this one over here, there are 3 screws for each wheel. And then we move over here.
There's that. And then we're going to put this plate back in here. And make sure all of our screws fit. I'm just going to go ahead and clip this closed. Looks like everything fits. And then we're going to put these screws back together. So that's in place, and next we're going to put this right back on top of there, and we've got our 2 screws that go right here. This is going to require a slightly larger screwdriver. Notice that there's like this, so we just want to pop them, and then we just put this, zoom in just a little bit, Julie. No, don't, just come closer. So we're just going to put this right back in its hole, and it just presses right down here. There we go. And notice that we have this square end, and also there's a light gray and a dark gray that coordinates with the light gray and the dark gray. So we're just going to plug this into the square hole over here. It just sits right in there. And then we're going to put this one right here and just set it right in there. And we're going to close that. There we go. Now we're going to take our clean and dry filter and put it right back in here. Pop. Close that, and close all this up. I'm doing the battery last because our Roomba tries to turn on every time we put the battery in. Example A. Okay, well earlier it was turning, there it goes. It tries to turn itself back on. So I've been waiting until the end. And last but not least, we have our little spinner brush here. It's going to go right there in the middle. And again, you're going to use a larger brush for this, and you do need to hold this spinner still so you can actually get it on there. There we go. We have a clean spinner brush. It was originally covered in poop. And now we'll put this right in there. Our 2 screws. Come on. There we go. Settle in there. And screw this right back on. And that's it. Now, oh, we forgot to wipe it off of there. Apparently we forgot to wipe this poop off. Clean any last bits off the bottom of your Roomba. Dust, hair, and There you go.